Well, the world of politics is centring in on Queensland yet again. Nationals MP, one-time Queensland Senator Barnaby Joyce, he's confirmed he's now spoken with One Nation leader, our very own Pauline Hanson, about all this speculation about him defecting over to the One Nation party. Now, look, he hasn't confirmed whether he will make the shift, but One Nation leader Pauline Hanson is on the line. Senator, always good to talk to you. Come on, tell us what's going on. Is it you and Barnaby? Is it going to happen? What's happening?
Oh, God, here we go again. You want an exclusive, don't you? Everyone's harping at me. Want something on it. Look, I was quite well aware that Barnaby is not happy with the National Party. He's basically being sidelined to the back bench and they don't want anything to do with him. No, look, I think the biggest issue with Barnaby is net zero, right? He's harped and harped on about this. We're on the same page. I don't want it either. From the very beginning, I have said that. He's up against David Littleproud, who wants it. Susan Lee, she wants it. Barnaby knows the damage that it is doing to our country. So do I. The cost of living, losing the farming sector. They're going to go after the agricultural sector soon. This is so important to him. And I think it's wonderful. That's why I keep fighting for the people, because these issues are not being addressed by the politicians. They are not listening to people of this country. The prosperity is going down bloody drain. So Barnaby feels he's been hitting his head up against a brick wall, and I can see it as well. And I had a talk with him, and I said, Barnaby, you're more aligned with One Nation. The Nats don't want you. They basically have sidelined you. They didn't want him to campaign. They didn't want him out of his electorate. He's, as far as they're concerned, Littleproud, he's past his use-by date. So see you later, Barnaby. Get out of here. And that's the whole attitude. I think there's a lot left in Barnaby. I think he has a lot to offer. And I've said, Barnaby, my door's open. The decision's yours. I've made the offer. And I said, come across the One Nation. He'll have more of a voice as a team, working with a team. We're all on the same page, no factional fighting, nothing of that going on thoughts. And I think, why not? Come and join us. The final decision is Barnaby's now.
Yeah, and so it should be. I mean, he's a former Deputy Prime Minister. We should respect that situation. The guy has never been... He's never been far from controversy, and I mean that in just a general observation. But the thing is, he has this passion for Australia, like yourself. He understands people like yourself. Yeah. We're
on the same page. Why wouldn't we be? We're there as members, to represent the public. Why shouldn't we speak up against these things? I'm so angry the way that it's not only the Labor Party driving this country in the ground at the moment. Even the Libs and Nats can't make up their bloody mind what they're doing, Gary. They can't make a decision on this. Surely can't we learn from other countries around the world? This country is now going into nearly $1.2 trillion debt, right? We've got industries, manufacturing going. The cost of living skyrocketing. Electricity bills are going up. None of this is going to get any better. And we're saying, hey, we've got a better way of doing it. This is what should be done about it. And I want more people like Barnaby to come on the team with One Nation and have the fight, take it up to the major political parties, state our case to the public, tell them what we're going to do, what our policies are, how we're going to make it a better country for Australians that are here. And mass migration, that's another big one. We both know you've got to pull back on it. And I'm just not taking anyone into the party, I can assure you. If they're not like-minded with the two main issues that I'm pushing for is cut back mass migration. I'm not against migration at all, but do it in a managed way. And it's ridiculous where we are at the moment. And also get rid of net zero. And I want to reindustrialise Australia. Start manufacturing again. That's Barnaby's another... big pride that he's out there been screaming about this as well. This has been all my policies, Gary, for years.
They have, and Pauline Hanson, you and I, we both entered the Parliament the same day, 2nd of March 1996. We kind of went on the other side of the chamber at one stage there, but that's beside the point. The key thing, though, is it's always been the economy. The economy is getting completely buggered up by net zero and renewables and by mass migration, because nobody can afford to buy a home when they're competing with people from other countries cashed up and coming here.
Correct, Gary. And it's not only that, what people are feeling from their own hip pockets. You'll find that in time you won't receive the services that you really need. That means the nursing homes, the infrastructure, the water, the schools, the hospitals to have those operations. Everything will be affected because the government is overspending. They haven't got the money to actually put into these services. And in time, if we don't pull it back, we're going to be a third world country. and you won't have things that you took for granted in this country. It won't be there anymore. And it all comes down to government policy, government overspending, taxes. And, of course, if the government hasn't got prosperity, then you're going to actually be taxing those people more and more all the time, which we see happening all the time.
Yeah, everything is about tax and redistribution. I mean, look, whether Barnaby goes or stays, whether he leaves the parliament or finds another way to serve, does that mean other members of the coalition be awfully tempted right now? Because I'm counting between 7 and 10 of them that are thinking, what am I banging my head against the wall for?
Well, I haven't even heard those numbers. And I don't, look, Gary, I respect political parties and I respect the general public's vote, that they vote for that person should stay with that party. But the trouble is, I try to actually put it in place, especially in the Senate, because they vote for that political party in the Senate. And when they jump all over the place, these senators, and I've had it happen to me, and I get angry about it. The people voted for that representative. But when the party's left your views, Barnaby hasn't. The party's left his views and the Conservative views and what they want for the country. And then you feel, well, this isn't right. This is not me truly representing the people. And I've tried to put that forward in the parliament. They weren't interested, so now I don't have that obligation that people should stick with the political party.
Yeah. So I mean, Pauline Hanson, in the end, Barnaby Joyce is also being true to the grassroots members of the Nationals in New South Wales. They voted against net zero. The LNP have voted against net zero at the grassroots right around the country, and yet the federal parliamentary room won't follow this. So is this why One Nation is gaining support? Not people are sick to death of the betrayal?
Correct. And that's what I'm hearing all the time. I get thumbs up all around the place. People from different cultural backgrounds, it's unbelievable. They think that these people don't like me. That's absolute rubbish. I get embraced by people all around the country, different cultural backgrounds, because they want the mass migration stopped. They want their rising power costs reduced, their cost of living. They want a decent... years ago when we were growing up, you average house price is about 3 times your income. Now it's 14 times plus. Yeah. People can't afford it. There's no future for the children in this country, and that's what people are in fear of. So I'm going to keep pushing forward. We are growing. Gary, our membership has grown 70% since the election. We've now opened, in the matter of 3 weeks, 4 weeks, we've opened 50 branches around the country. That's enormous, and it's still growing. Yeah. People are wanting to come on board. I went out to Tamworth there. We had 100 people turn up for a branch launch, and we've had people walk away from the Tamworth branch that have been there as president of the branch for the last 10, 15 years.
That's the Nationals branch. That's just sort of fallen, lost members. So Senator Hanson, can I ask you about a bigger, broader issue now? Because I think everyone understands why One Nation's gaining support, because you guys are stuck to your knitting and people know what you are. That's good. So the Prime Minister has landed in the United States. He's awaiting a meeting with the President of the US. What do you want to see from this Prime Minister?
I don't have much faith or trust in him at all. I think he's a bumbling fool, to tell you the truth. And I don't think he's in tune with the general public. I respect the position of Prime Minister. Do I respect Anthony Albanese? No. Because even I read an article where he's frightened to go out in public now because he gets booed and they're worried about his security. That's because the people are turning on him because he's not listening to what they want. And he keeps, the high immigration, the impact it's having on people. And he's not listening. He's not a representative for the people of Australia. He's on so many trips overseas, jettisoning around the world, and I don't like it. He's not listening, and he should be reining in Chris Bowen with these climate change policies and what he's doing. So I don't have respect for the man whatsoever. Nice bloke. I've travelled with him. Nice bloke. Do I respect him as a leader of this nation? No way in the wide world. Okay. And I am going to do everything in my power, whatever I can, if it means Barnaby coming across, other members of Parliament who are decent members who will work for the public, to actually join me and be a force at the next election. I will do it if it means getting rid of this bloody Labor government.
Fair enough too. I mean, what do you reckon Donald Trump's going to do with him? I mean, Donald Trump's got this whole mess happening again with Hamas firing missiles at Israel firing back, China sniffing around everything in our part of the world. I mean, this meeting's taken basically a year to put together. I don't know how it's going to go. You got any thoughts?
You know what? I'll believe it when it actually happens, Gary. He might be over there. And I don't believe that Trump has any real respect for Albanese. Remember in his speech, he said these countries that signed up to allow Palestine to be recognised as a state. And he said, you're fools. And that's Trump. Trump is not a person to suffer fools lightly. Why do you think it's taken so long for this meeting? All right? Because he really hasn't got time for Albanese. And another thing, too, is because the defence of the nation, he keeps saying, we are our own sovereign nation. We will decide what we put into it. Yet he wants to decide what actually can happen over in Gaza. So, he's two-faced as far as I'm concerned. And I don't believe that Trump has respect for Albanese.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Well, that's what I was after. I wanted to get your take on it because there's a lot of things happening all at once. And as I said, Queensland seems to be at the centre of it all. And keep the fight going, Pauline Hanson. Keep the fight going.
You're a Queenslander. We don't hold back, Gary. We're straight up front, aren't we? People know where they stand with us.
Yeah, they do. Sometimes they run away when we walk in the room, but too bad, so sad.
We'll keep going, Gary.
Good on you, Pauline Hanson.